Hey guys, it's Bastian time. Welcome to This Week in Zelda News. I'm your host, Bastian. Of course, this past week we had Christmas, so I celebrated with setting up my Christmas tree and my Triforce tree topper. I hope you had a Merry Christmas, and let's get to that first story. So first up is an amazing handcrafted Zelda Christmas stocking. It's just perfect. It's exactly what you would expect a Christmas stocking for a Zelda fan to look like. If I had any kind of artistic ability, I'd try to make that. But I mean, the Triforce tree topper is about as artistic as I get, and not to ruin the illusion, but it's just a piece of paper. So I kind of have no chance of making anything as amazing as this Christmas stocking, but I'm sure going to give it a shot. As I'm sure all of you know by now, there was a hilarious rumor recently that Majora's Mask was going to be announced by Nintendo, the remake for the 3DS. And that announcement was going to happen on the 21st. Of course, the 21st has come and passed, and as we know, that turned out to not be the case. Sites like IGN and such do post rumors. It's because they've got some kind of source. In this instance, it turns out it was just some guy who emailed this particular Zelda fan site and said, hey, here's a screenshot I took of Nintendo of America's Twitter. The hilarious bit about this rumor is that, according to that site, Nintendo of America published this tweet that alerted everybody, hey, Zelda fans, we've got some news for you coming the 21st, but then for some reason deleted that tweet. Now, that's the biggest tip-off right there, that this is fake. Why would Nintendo start some kind of marketing campaign, which is, of course, what tweets from them are, and then delete it? Like, what would be the point of that? If they knew that they were going to publish that tweet, why delete the tweet? I mean, wouldn't they want more people to be paying attention to them on the 21st if they really were going to announce Majora's Mask 3D? So it's just painfully obvious that it was just some kid sending a Zelda site an email, and why this particular Zelda website continuously publishes these kinds of rumors boggles my mind. But anyways, let's get to that next story. Well, speaking of the 21st and Majora's Mask, a website appeared out of nowhere called TerribleFates.com, and it had a highly detailed version of Majora's Mask on it, and then a countdown, counting down to the 21st. This led a lot of people to think, oh, maybe this is kind of related to that rumor, or something along those lines, but no, it turns out what this actually was counting down to was a fan album of covers from Majora's Mask, or at least the first few songs of what will eventually be a fan album. So still, the music is pretty awesome, and it was a very, very ingeniously designed website. It capitalized on the whole 3 days remain sort of thing. You can go check out that album now. Speaking of music and Zelda, here is a very bizarre combo that I could have never possibly imagined, which is a video game that pays homage to Zelda visually in a lot of ways, but has mostly to do with the music of Skrillex, who's, I guess, a famous dubstep artist. I have not tried this game out. Up next is an amazing video from Lindsey Sterling. You will know her as a person who uses her violin to cover video game songs, Zelda songs mainly. And in this, she's not doing that whatsoever. She's actually portraying a version of Link in that infamous scene when you first go into Castle Town in Ocarina of Time, and you find that room that just has a whole bunch of pots and this poor, poor castle guard inside. And of course, those pots are meant for smashing and rupee finding. So, very funny video depicting that. It's Dangerous to Go Alone is a meme, of course, originated in the very first Zelda game. It became a meme kind of recentishly in the past couple of years, and there's a video done by GameSpot that sort of analyzes the origins of that famous catchphrase, and then its various iterations in official games, in other games for instance like the Adventure Time game, Hey Ice King, why'd you steal our garbage? They of course reference, well, they reference a bazillion Zelda things, but of course they reference that famous Zelda quote. So anyways, fascinating video. If you want to give a view, there's a link for you down below. Did you know gaming is famous for unearthing some little-known facts about video games? This particular one, though, I'm not so sure about. I think I'm going to call foul. It claims that there's a particular Pokemon that's sort of 3 separate individuals who each represent 3 different virtues, and that supposedly that Pokemon is meant to represent the Triforce. I think it's stretching it a little bit because the various virtues are not exact analogs to the Zelda virtues. I mean, one of them I think is emotions, and I guess that could be like courage, but I don't know. Yeah. Zelda cakes are awesome. This one looks amazing and it's very detailed. It's an Ocarina of Time Zelda cake. It even has the cartridge and the Nintendo 64 and the controller for you to eat. Looks delicious. I want to gobble up that little Deku sprout. Our next story is from Zac Gorman. He is a comic artist, but his comics are not funny ones. Usually when we see Zelda comics, they're usually parodies or they're poking fun at some sort of oddity about Zelda. Zac Gorman does the exact opposite. He sort of pays tribute to the heart of the things that he's talking about. In this, it's not even within the game, but it's about the purchase of the very first game. And I swear to Hylia, it's like he's pilfered my memories. I mean, I guess he and I must be about the same age, because I also remember going with my mother to a store. Although my story is a little different. In his story, he doesn't remember what his reasoning was for selecting the original Legend of Zelda. I have a specific memory about my cousin calling me on the phone and basically bragging that he beat The Legend of Zelda, which is the hardest game he's ever played. And he just kept going on and on and on about it, and I wasn't really that interested at the time, but then when I saw it in the store, I was like, well, I guess I'll give it a shot, and boy am I glad I did. So last week I mentioned that a lot of people have been suggesting that I set up some sort of donation sort of thing for a HD camera fund sort of thing, so that way we can have these videos in HD. And so I decided to finally go ahead and set that up. But you guys have not exactly come through. Only one of you at the time of this filming has donated, and that's Melvin H, who contributed $15. Now, I wasn't expecting anybody to contribute even $5. I thought maybe if every one of my viewers contributed $1, then that would be more than enough for a cam. So thanks to Melvin8. If you'd like to contribute to that fund, there's a link for you down below, and I'll be sure to give you a shout out if you do. So that's it for this episode of This Week in Zelda News. Tomorrow, of course, is This Week in Nintendo News. See you then. Bye.